straight in it, straight out, straight from the van. Got a call yesterday. Fancy meeting up. And here we are in one of my favourite parts of the Lake District, really accessible. And as you can see, the scene in front of us is just on the turn. I thought there'd be more colour. I thought autumn would be showing more. But it's okay, because we've got these dark greens, light greens and the copper understory. And it's becoming, I think, that time of year that I prefer more than full-blown autumn is the in-between. The part of where the colours are all starting to change at different times. The oaks are the last to go, the beech are hanging on, you get the birch that have these little flecks of yellow and orange. And who better to share the day with but to be with a big man. The light's quite subdued, but we're getting pockets of, how can I describe it? It's that softbox effect, which is beautiful for woodland. And with the big guy, Gary, we're out again. Last time we was out, we was on the streets of York. That video, you might have seen. I always do this, don't I? I've got a collection going. I'm saving them up for Christmas. Honestly, I need to pull my finger out, ladies and gentlemen. We've got quite a few videos backed up now. And that's no bad thing. I like to take my time, as you know. Whereas Gary is the consummate professional, and his video will probably be out next week. Any road. As for now, from Gary to me, from me to Gary, we're getting this scene. It's wide, it's got a variety of species, and lots of tonal oranges, yellows, like I say, the copper understory. What more is to, you know, this is great. Getting the air in. It's raining, but the great thing, as I've told you before, the canopy of the trees and nature's umbrella. Right, come on, sit there.
So I've got to tell you right from the bat, I've no idea why he's brought me here. The place is just full of dead ferns, all brown in colour, and the trees are just full of all this green rubbish. All these greens and the leaves are starting to turn. They're turning yellow because they're dying. Why have you brought me to this place? There's just nothing to see here. Nothing. Disappointed. Another fantastic picture on this.
Because what happens next is a bit special. As the shoot goes on, the clag comes in and we get rather animated.
I'm not really sure what to look at, except the whole picture itself is incredible. Seems a bit of a daft thing to say, but as a photographer, I want to take a picture that's going to draw you, the viewer, in to a part of the scene, and then hopefully through my skill as a photographer, make you travel through the scene. This is why we have things like foreground.
Whilst Gary's just been talking about his shot, I've just been moving away quietly. He's doing his piece to camera, as we say in the business. And we've been getting low cloud just furling over the top of the fells and dropping down in this woodland. And I've got 3 birch in front of me and so much colour. I want to share this image with Gary. I want him to come and see and tell me what he actually thinks about this composition. I'm going to show him on the back of the camera. So for now, I'm just going to cut to a piece of video so you can see what I'm seeing. It's so painterly. It's slightly underexposed in the video, and I've pushed it in camera for the photograph. Oh, it's took me back, this, because I've had to do a lot of wiggling, a lot of moving left and right, getting down my knees and just adjusting. I've actually extended the neck of the tripod to get a little bit higher, which is a usual thing with woodland, is to position your camera much higher. I felt that didn't work, so I've come back down to about 5.5 foot, shooting straight through. As you can see now in this video clip, what I seen. It's a 10-foot day. What does that mean? It means you walk 10 feet and you just gasp, stop, compose, take the shot. Walk 10 feet, stop, gasp, take the shot. We've got boulders covered in moss. We've got these huge ferns that are now glistening, very wet. Got clouds crashing that is giving us this mist effect, and the clag is giving us separation. We've got trees that are spinning and twisting, turning between oaks, mountain ash and the birch. The variety here, which this is my 3rd visit here, by the way. I'll put a link down below to 2 past visits when I came here. Do you ever have them days where, you know, you feel it's not happening? I got here, I was really disappointed because I was expecting it to look more autumnal. There we go, in a nutshell. Leave all that, no preconceived ideas. Get some air in lungs, look around, enjoy, and it all comes to life. State of mind again. I've been mentioning this on the Patreon part of my podcast. That was a lot of P's. The Patreon part of my podcast, where I'm talking about a state of mind. And there's no ifs or buts about it. It's fact, it's true. Oh, but as I look down here now, the copper just bed of bracken is incredible. So I can't complain about it not having enough autumnal colours. It's all the colours in all the right places. State of mind. It's how you look at things, isn't it? In terms of woodland photography today, this is a treat. I think it's the way we're approaching it. I think it's the way we're seeing and the feeling of the place and the non-expectation of photography. I actually said I weren't going to vlog today. I think we're on the 5th composition. And when in terms me, when I say compositions, I don't normally have set moments and fix and film. But here, we had higgledy-piggledy behind it, but I've got this tree on the 3rd, lots of decorative leaves all around it, beautiful light, no mist at the moment. And then from there, I've just turned the camera around and we've got a very dynamic scene, spiralling, spindling arms and branches, and these overhangs coming in from the top corner. Again, looking at the framework, looking at the diagonals and positioning all the elements. But the moss and the interplay between the structures in this shot is just beautiful. I'm not going to say it's my last because I know there's another down there. I can hear Gary talking now. There's a lot of birch down here that are going off, and the yellows and oranges, little dappling leaves that you see with birch are showing beautifully. But we had a moment then where I spotted a composition on Gary's camera. I've never used one of those, but it's not a ball head, a machine head, moving all I'm doing this. Because that's what it's like. He likes twiddling with his knobs and then getting it, moving it, positioning it. I quite like that. I quite like using that then. Instead of my ball head. I've always used a ball head. Quite like using the machine gears. Interesting. I don't know what they're called. Never used one. I know Benro have a belter. Benro, if you're listening, inspired by Gavin. Cut, we're leaving it. I'm going to get another shot. I head down there. So I think this is it. I'm going to get this shot. The mist is blowing in again. It is low cloud and clag because the rain's falling, but we're sheltered. So this magic moment. This oak tree is such a character. It reminds me of elephant legs from my other location over near Coniston that I nicknamed elephant legs. It's got a look of that, and it's got a beady eye as well. Octopus eye. I think that's what we'll call this one. Octopusy. The bracken and the surrounding fiery bracken, the burning bracken, which I can lift the saturation just ever so much. And then the scene in the middle with these trees is very foreboding and dark, quite mystical. Right, so the mist is coming back in again now. And I'm going to call this my last composition that you're going to see. And then I'm going to carry on with Gary. We're going to have a natter, talk. But from here, if you've liked what you've seen, you know what to do. Thanks so much for watching. It really does mean a lot to me. And if you want to support me, you can head over to Patreon for a couple of bob, a couple of quid, a couple of English pounds, and support me that way. And you get more content now, but for your ears only. And I post 2 or 3 times a month, hopefully, with new images and ideas and what I'm thinking for future content. You also get the inside scoop on what guests I've got appearing on the podcast, etc, etc, etc. And well, there's only one thing left to say from this beautiful rainy woodland in the Lake District. No, it's Sithe!